time for reasons. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul.
Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. Suffocating, I'm waiting and always hesitating. heart afire.
All right, welcome everyone to our winners bracket match. It's going to be OSU versus a WQA. OSU on the blue side, WQA on the red side. And we're going to start off with a Shen ban from the side of OSU and a Singed ban from the side of Winners Q. What do you make of that, Kevin?
Well, they're obviously looking to ban tanks, and we have seen Osu bring out the Singed a lot, and it feels like a champion that they're comfortable on, so I do think those bans are pretty good so far.
Yeah, and Oran ban also coming out from the side of Osu. We've seen Winners Q play a lot of these tanks. Their top laner is very good at playing safe in lane, farming up, and gaining a lead, even sometimes for himself, and being able to become that tank front line in team fights and giving the peel that Winners Q carries need. Nunu going to get banned out from the side of Winners Q. Osu jungler is very good at Nunu, so it's not too surprising that there's going to be a Nunu ban thrown out and a last ban at Ashe going to be thrown out from the side of Osu. A bit of an interesting ban, but a good ban nonetheless. I think Winners Q ADC might have played Ashe, I believe, in this tourney. So
And so we've seen that focus on tanks, especially, but now with the Fizz ban, also a very strong champion in the meta right now. Obviously, he always is very slippery with his E,
yeah,
and
and
his ult has a huge potential for team
of course,
fights.
Winners Q does have a very good player in the mid lane, WQA. But interesting to see that he actually wants to throw a respect ban towards Enhat's Fizz, which
And
is or not
and
Enhat's
has
Fizz. Sorry, sorry, Osu mid
hmm.
laner's Fizz. So interesting to see that. To see that Winners Q doesn't want the Fizz in the mid lane. Osu's going to first pick Sejuani, which is a good first pick. Winners Q also has played the Sejuani before, but actually, pick for Trundle's going to actually come out against the Sejuani, and Trundle, obviously, his ultimate is able to steal the stats from Sejuani to make himself tanky and to make Sejuani very squishy. So, good counter pick into Sejuani coming out from Winners Q. And yeah, we're going to be waiting for the second pick on Winners Q. Gonna see if they want to draft their ADC.
A
It's gonna be
misfortune pick.
Misfortune. Misfortune is really good team fight and can do well given peel even in team fights, and that ultimate could be pretty huge. But very standard draft so far. Nothing too special as
But what's
Osu.
critical here, though, I think, though, is also that Misfortune also has a strong laning phase. So there's potential for the winner's queue bot lane to begin preying on sort of any picks that the OC bot lane can bring out, especially into this vein. With the E slow and the hopes for double up, the lane should become pretty hard for this vein.
Yeah, and a Vayne pick. I mean, a Vayne and Sejuani pick is kind of saying from the side of Osu that you kind of want to play for more of a late game style team fight based comp. Uh, and the Swain is also going to get picked out. So very good team fight from the side of Osu once they reach that mid game to late game time period. But the question is if they can even reach that time period against Winners Q. Winners Q has kind of dominated games given the strength of their team throughout this tourney, and not giving teams the chance to even hit like their mid game power spike. As Silas is going to get picked out. We've seen Busiosi on Silas, and we've seen him dominate games on Silas. So exciting pick. And there are some pretty good ults you can steal with Swain ult and with Sejuani ult are both pretty good ultimates to have. There's going to be Urgot ban thrown out by the side of Winners Q as bans look towards the top side. There's not going to be any more mid bans, I feel like, from the side of Winners Q. I think targeting Osu's top laner is a good idea. Maybe a Kale ban or something that's thrown out from the side of Winners Q to prevent irreversible damage being done by the time Osu can start winning fights with their comp. Leona also going to get banned. Very good lane bully and lane, and combined with the MF could be really deadly and dominate this lane to the point of no return. Winners Q looking for a final ban. It's actually going to be on the Kassadin, so giving even more respect to the mid laner. It looks like WQA really doesn't want to play against some of these mid picks, and they're not actually going to throw a ban towards their top laner. They're going to be like, our top laner can handle your top laner from the side of Winners Q. So
Any pick you want.
Yeah, any interesting to see Winners Q actually not place any priority on mid bans, or place priority on mid bans and not place any priority on top bans, as OSU looks to ban away Malphite. So 3 tanks, 3 top laners, 3 tank top laners banned from the side of OSU. Now Winners Q looking for the round 2 first pick. This is either going to be the support or the top laner, and it's going to go to the top laner. It's going to be a tank top laner. Winners Q top laner is going to say you can ban 3 tank top laners, but there's still more top tanks in the meta. But
There
this
actually
Maokai
is also
could go support at the same time.
support Maokai. Very strong right now with the new item, Imperial Mandate. That coordinated fire ability doing so much damage to squishies.
Yeah, this is a good flex pick. Maokai is both strong in the top lane and the bot lane and support right now, although he has played more in the support role. LeBlanc is going to be the answer towards the Silas from the side of OSU, bringing some burst damage to team, although I'm not too sure if LeBlanc is able to find targets this game, given that there is Maokai Trundle in the team and Misfortune does have a lot of peel. So going to be interesting to see if LeBlanc can get the jump, and a Kled actually going to get picked for top lane. It is going to be a Maokai support, and Nautilus going to get picked out. So to me, this
I'd
sounds
say
like,
this is a Maokai top lane actually,
yeah,
rather than a Maokai support.
to me, this really seems like an MF Silas carry. And the team fight from OSU, I would actually give an edge towards OSU for a team fight over Winners Q. So I think this will be a pretty interesting match. I feel like this match is all going to be about controlling BoostOC. If OSU can manage to control BoostOC this match, I actually think that they have a decent shot at team fights. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see if they can shut down BoostOC's dominant laning phase and dominant roam in order to overcome Winners Q. Thoughts on the comp?
It feels like while Misfortune does have a lot of peel, LeBlanc also has a lot of mobility. Her W allows you to easily bamboozle our opponents. And so I wouldn't be quite so certain that MF gets to just set up her ult every team fight. But with the Maokai, the Trundle, and the Nautilus, there definitely is the ability to not lock down and kill this LeBlanc instantly. Basically, it's down to see how well LeBlanc is able to find these flanks and look to assassinate this Misfortune and see if he can take out one of the only 2 major damage dealers on the side of Winners Q.
Yeah, and with that, we're going to go into a 3-minute or so break to maintain competitive integrity. So see you guys back on the Rift when that happens.
Open eye, feel the waves cut through me. Hypnotized by the sounds I'm breathing in. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me. So alive, make it last forever. Stop in time, yeah, I'm surrendering. Hold tight, chemicals collide. Hold tight, hold tight, hold tight. Dripping lights paint the skies, all because of you. Dripping lights paint the skies, only you can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me move. Can make me move. You can make me move. Can make me.
welcome back to Summoner's Rift. That took a bit longer than was intended. Tournament draft pick took a while and loading also took a while, but we are back on Summoner's Rift for OSU versus Winners Q Game 1.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
And we see
invade coming
them
in.
heading in for an early bot invade.
30 seconds until
They
minions
wards it
spawn.
out though.
Yeah, and Nautilus actually bought Sweeper for this invade, so I'm gonna get a nice one farm for the MF. It's gonna be some extra gold in MS pocket before the 1 minute mark.
Yeah. And it does give experience. I'm not quite sure how it matches with the bot lane experience. It may give them level 2, sorry, a little bit earlier, though it also may not. Well, it just depends on how much experience went to specifically Nautilus and Misfortune, and exactly the difference in experience that is required to go from level 1 to level 2.
Yeah, and MF and Nautilus in this bot lane, looking to potentially cheese the bot lane of OSU here. Trying to hide in bushes, maybe get a bit more information about where the leash is. Kled is going to actually ward the blue side on the top side, looking out for the invade from the Trundle, as Kled and Maokai are going to both rotate up. So this is actually kind of like Trundle doesn't know where this Sejuani started because both sides acted like they leashed here. So it might be a bit tougher on the Trundle to determine his jungle pathing. Also interesting to note that the LeBlanc took Ignite into the matchup into Sylas, which is good, obviously, because it does give that Executioner's effect. But Sylas did take TP, looking to make some plays around the map.
And based off of the start paths of the junglers, we can sort of see where they'll be putting their focus. It's likely that Sejuani will want to go towards the top side where she can proc her passive with Kled, and where they want to get this bruiser sort of team fighty snowball top lane ahead, while Trundle is looking more towards the bot side where he has this bot lane that should be ahead for most of the game because of their early pressure. So we already see that dichotomy in jungle pathing.
Kled taking some trades with the Maokai up top. Kled is just gonna shove in that wave. He's pretty confident that Trundle won't be ganking his lane, and with Sejuani around, that is correct. Bot lane from the side of OSU gonna take some hope as Kled continues to take some trades with Maokai. Actually might be dismounted here, but it really doesn't matter. Gonna use some heal pods to heal right back up. And early on, you already see Kled kind of just shoving in the top lane, and the side of Winners Q is just shoving in their bot lane with that lane dominance from the MF Nautilus.
And the MF is taking Comet rather than these more late game focused runes such as Dark Harvest usually. So she's definitely playing more for this lane dominant style where she continues to poke out this Vayne as we're already seeing, and we'll see whether or not it pays dividends.
Maokai's just gonna have to flash away. A flash Q coming in from the Sejuani. Maokai could fall here, but that's not enough damage. Flash is burned in both the top lane and now the mid lane. Trundle looking for a gank onto the LeBlanc, but not gonna quite find what he wants. Both junglers being active here, but only flashes are gonna be blown. Good plays from both the LeBlanc and the Maokai to get rid of these kills. Oh, a flash in coming in for Nautilus. Ignite on Vayne. Vayne's just gonna flash away from that. Missed hook from the Nautilus isn't gonna catch the Slay now. A lot of flashes are gonna get blown here. You have no flash on Vayne, LeBlanc, or Sejuani. On the flip side, you don't have any flashes for this Nautilus and Maokai. Vayne actually gonna stay in lane here. Gonna try to see if she can pick up some extra farm. A bit greedy deal from Vayne. She could die to one flash Q if this MF is feeling risky.
And the farm gap is already pretty large. It's already 16 CS difference at just before 5 minutes into the game, with only minions spawning only around 3 minutes into it. So
if Sejuani looking busted. Oh, flash Q not gonna hit anything there from the Swain. Sejuani gonna get the freeze on the Nautilus though, and a few more autos will do. Vayne's gonna get the first blood on the Nautilus, but Vayne will die for flash away from the MF. Is gonna get her away from that gank, so it's gonna be a 1-for-1. First blood going to the side of OSU to the Vayne.
And we see the Sejuani moving around the map, making plays and trying to put her team ahead.
And yeah, that was really good, you know, from the side of Winners Q. They're kind of overextending, trying to get some extra farm, trying to push in the wave, and trying to maybe get a cheese pick onto that Vayne who is so low under turret. And Osu recognizes and is able to kind of punish them for that by sending Sejuani bot and picking up a few kills. Or one kill.
Right, and with that kill going onto that first blood going onto the Rain, that goes a long way towards evening up the gold gap due to the 16 and growing CS difference. So Vayne gets the scale much earlier into the game than we probably should have expected, and will maybe begin to be able to shred these tanks.
And Clyde gonna get dismounted in the top lane, trying to get some damage off onto this Maokai, but Maokai is just too tanky. Actually gonna look kind of aggressively in Maokai's
This is 5v6,
for
normal
the farm.
5v6.
He's gonna stack up Conquer, and he actually got nice damage on Maokai. Actually gonna go for a turret dive. The ultimate coming down from Maokai. Maokai's gonna get a solo kill on Clyde. Clyde's gonna try to dive, but not gonna quite get the kill. Now on the flip side, Silas is gonna get the Sejuani, and all of a sudden Osu seems to be collapsing across the top and mid side of this game. I mean, that was really greedy from the side of Kled to go into Maokai's wave, say, hey, I'm stronger than you, I have Conqueror stack, you know, I believe I can get this kill, and not gonna quite get this kill,
and
but
he
this
was
Maokai's
level
gonna
5.
get punished here, because this Maokai's trying to shove in the wave, but Kled's just gonna TP, W's not gonna do anything there, and Kled's actually gonna get a trade kill, and Maokai's wave is shoving into him. So, at the end of the day, I think that's a trade that you would technically want to take as Kled, even though you did lose the initial fight. But Silas is gonna get a lead from that jungler, and it's not gonna get traded back.
And that just feels sloppy from the side of Maokai.
Oh, and that Swain is just caught there. Drake is gonna go to the side of Osu though. Trundle's actually gonna get really low. Vayne could pick up this kill, but not gonna quite get it. And Busio C is actually in trouble here potentially. But he's just gonna heal right back up with the W. Gonna get some more kills, and all of a sudden you see this game just snowballing towards Winner's Q, despite Osu getting the Drake there.
LeBlanc wasn't ready to help her team for this Drake, and we can see the results. In that 4v3, Winners Q kill. Did they kill 2 or 3? They killed, I believe. They killed 3, I believe, and that's just goes to show how much mid priority matters in this game around dragons, especially.
Yeah, and that initial pick on Swain was also huge. And Nautilus able to get a hook onto that Swain, catch him out early on in the fight, and then collapse onto the side of Osu, which we're doing Drake. Very well played from the side of Osu with those map rotations. And this Kled is also trying to gather a farm lead for himself. Very aggressive in lane, as seen already. Gonna see if he will be able to roam around the map with his ultimate, now that he is level 8. Bot lane already from the side of Winners Q already has a massive lead. Vayne really needs to at least stay even with this MF, but so far she is nearly down 40 farm, which is not what you want to see out of the Vayne. I feel like Vayne is going to be the bread and butter for the side of Osu if they want to win any fights going into the mid game. And without that Vayne being fed, I think it's really hard for Osu to find a good team fight.
Yes, but
actually look for bot lane. He's gonna actually get the MF here. MF's gonna get brought really low, gonna get rooted, shut down. Goes to the side of Kled, and Kled might pick himself a double, a flash away from the Nautilus, panning top side here. Sejuani's gonna be 1v1ing Maokai for some reason. I think he just wants to hold the wave. Nautilus is gonna get out from the bot side, and you know, good rotation from the side of Osu. Kled's gonna roam bot, and Sejuani's gonna keep the wave top side, so this Maokai can't really get an advantage from that, but Trundle is going straight to Rift Herald.
And just I was talking about how this Kled was ahead and could begin to move around the map with his ult and spread his lead around. He does exactly that and gets his bot lane sort of once more an injection of gold into this hard losing bot lane.
Yeah, and well coordinated by OSU in order to make that play happen. The Kled going bot and then the Sejuani holding the wave top. But Winner's Q is going to respond appropriately and go straight to the Rift Herald, try to get an objective out of a losing play. And Trundle is going to probably look to place this Herald somewhere. Or no, Maokai actually has it. Maokai might try to use his Herald top lane, I guess. To see bot lane continue getting platings, good dodge, good sidestep, good hook from the Nautilus flash, not gonna do much for Swain. Actually, Swain's gonna stopwatch the ignite, so he might get out, but the E is gonna do enough from the MF. Vayne also gonna get poked down by that Q there from the MF, and this bot lane is just getting pummeled by this MF Nautilus.
Yeah, the early game focused picks and runes coming out from the MF Nautilus looking very strong, and I wonder how, even with those two great ganks coming in from Sejuani and Kled, their bot lane is still super far behind. So it's all up to how Vayne can begin to scale into the late game, even into these very fed members of Winner's Q in the form of Sylas and MF.
Yeah, and if you're OSU right now, I feel like you want to make more plays with this Kled, who is really the only player from the side of OSU currently who has a lead and who can make plays. But from the side of Winner's Q, you have 4 winning lanes, and you just need to push. You just need bot lanes to just constantly shove in,
mid,
just make them miss more farm, and yeah, just extend the lead that you have with mid pressure as well. So game's looking really good for Winner's Q right now.
And we saw that decision from Maokai to drop his Rift Herald mid, making it very, very obvious that they're trying to funnel gold towards this Sylas. They've already got the MF. The MF has just naturally, through the course of this lane, gotten very far ahead, and now they're going to keep trying to snowball this Sylas even further forward as he's 2-0, with even farm into as a melee into range matchup into the LeBlanc.
It's also a really interesting Manamune build coming out from MF. I've never seen this build, but I'm sure there's some logic behind it. Q poke and promo.
We actually
Manamune and Buzio C is actually gonna have to flash for the wall there. That was a really nice route, but Swain once again gonna get caught up by this Nautilus, gonna get pop ult, but gonna get blocked by this Trundle, not gonna be able to move, just stuck there in the MF ult, and Trundle's gonna be looking for more along with the Nautilus, gonna land the hook again. On a Sejuani, gonna flash over the wall, but is just dead for sure. Winner's Q probably gonna look for this free Drake here, no jungler, no smite from the side of OSU. Maokai is just gonna pick up some platings bot now, top, as Kled is recalling mid, so all around Winner's Q just won that, as MF might get a solo kill here, very close.
And about that Manamune, we actually did see Jackie Love build MF in, exactly in this fashion in the All-Star event yesterday and today, so there is definitely a precedence for this type of build.
Yeah, and LeBlanc gonna try to go for the steal. Good route from Nautilus. LeBlanc won't be able to find much. A nice E from the side of Buzio C, gonna force the LeBlanc flash away from that, but not much else. LeBlanc is gonna live that exchange. I mean, I guess, always worth going for that steal, but ended up costing her a flash. And
right, but it didn't feel like they had to do that. They already got that first dragon in the beginning, and they have the stronger team fight, it feels like, towards the later game with the Kled engage and the Swain, Vayne, Sejuani, as well as the LeBlanc for a flank. So, honestly, even just that delaying towards a later Elder Dragon, which is really just almost the ultimate endgame objective, as it makes team fights so much easier.
yeah.
Yeah.
And as much as the rest of Winner's Q is doing well right now, I'd really like to give notice to the top laner of Winner's Q. I feel like this whole tournament he's been playing tanks, so he's gone relatively unnoticed, but he's always managed to give himself kind of a lead or stay even at least with these unfavorable matchups. So look top lane here, and Nautilus is just gonna roam. They're just gonna slowly beat down this Kled, who's gonna try to ult out. OSU
does make it out.
Responsible, not quite. Actually, a TP coming down from this Sylas to the bot lane. And he's just gonna probably pick up the kill onto Vayne to extend this lead bot lane. as a fight top lane is going to happen. They're going to see that Silas TP boss, so they're going to try to make a play top, and they're going to try to get this Kled, but Kled is going to get very low, but manage to stay alive, and it's actually going to be a 2-for-1, I believe, trade. Actually, not going to flash out there, so it's going to just be a 1-for-2. But yeah, I mean, OSU tries to respond there. They see that they don't know where BCOC is initially, but when they do see him TP bot lane, they go for the play top lane, and they end up getting a pick for that.
Right, but this Sejuani got the kill.
Looking for this LeBlanc, gonna get good damage onto her with full Silas combo, but LeBlanc's just gonna W out of there. Not enough damage quite yet.
And we'll see that the gold lead is already around 6k at the 15-minute mark. This is a huge gold lead, especially only around 15 minutes into the game. So this Silas and this Misfortune are going to be incredibly strong, especially compared to their counterparts. And in the topside play that OSU pulled off to try and strike back against Winners Q, it's critical that Sejuani got the kill rather than LeBlanc. And with just an assist, she got so much, like 200 less gold. And when you really want your LeBlanc to be able to get stronger, to begin to be more easily one-shotting the priority targets of Silas and Misfortune, it's really unfortunate that Sejuani gets a kill instead.
And Kled always looking so aggressive in this top lane, trying to get some trades with Maokai, but probably isn't going to be able to get much after Maokai does have Sunfire and Ninja Tab Eyes, or steel-plated shoes or something. I don't know what it's called now.
Steel-plated.
Yeah, steel.
Plated steel caps. Sorry, I believe is what it is.
Kled gonna get Nautilus ulted, gonna get MF ulted, and actually might be brought down low enough. That's a Gale Force forward from the MF, gonna pick up the kill on Kled. Sejuani also gonna look very low, gonna be a double kill from the side of Winners Q, and BCOC is gonna get a kill also on this Swain, who has not been having a fun time this game, getting rooted by Nautilus hooks left and right, and now getting just killed by the Swain. As Winners Q just extends their lead, they rotate their bot lane, top lane, and get a double kill there as BCOC just looks around the map and gets a few kills, as they knock down all 3 tier 1s and look to open up the map even more.
Right, and just within 2 minutes, they've already grown the gold lead again from 5k to around to even closer to 8k right now. Within 2.5 minutes, they've added 50% to their gold lead to an already massive gold lead. This game that was looking already very poorly for OSU, it's looking even worse, and it's all up to their sort of teamfight engage with Kled, Swain, and Sejuani to see whether or not they can find a pick on the priority targets of Silas and Misfortune, and see if they can sort of claw their way back into this game.
Okay, Nautilus looking for a pick as Silas is around the wall. Nice hook. Somehow got the Sejuani there. Flash gonna come through, and Sejuani just gonna get rooted up and most likely killed. Actually, he might live. No, he's gonna die to Leandre's burn there. Silas gonna eat back in onto Kled. It's gonna just be a slaughter. It seems like actually OSU gonna try to respond, gonna try to get the pick on Nautilus. Shutdown goes to the sides of Kled. Trundle Pillar actually gonna do work there. Bullet Time's gonna kill everyone. Silas, you're gonna catch the LeBlanc, and it's gonna be an ace from the side of Winners Q. That fight actually looked really sketchy there from the side of Winners Q, but that Trundle Pillar is able to do so much work there into the MF ultimate. That just spells disaster from the side of OSU. Well played from the side of Winners Q.
And starting off that play, we can definitely see that gold lead in action. This Sejuani just tried to farm her jungle, but with the turrets taken down, with the gold lead and Winners Q around her, she like, it feels really bad for the jungler. Like, you want to try and farm, but you're just totally unable to because the entire enemy team is there ready to just kill you, and it just feels horrible to play in that situation.
And Ocean Drake gonna get picked up from the side. Winners Q gonna go uncontested. And as much as Winners Q is kind of all centered around BCOC, who obviously is the challenger player here compared to everyone else, it really has been this bot lane and jungle who've also taken over this map. As MF just Gale Forces in and solo kills this Bane without any trouble there.
Gale Force MF becomes the assassin.
Yeah, that definitely was an assassin play. I feel like the Q auto just deleted that Vayne there. Now 1-5, not a good look for a scaling champion.
Right, yeah, but you just said scaling champion.
LeBlanc's just gonna walk into the Maokai, but Lucio C actually gonna get the E over the wall, but LeBlanc's gonna try to break some ankles, gonna go W over the wall, oh my goodness, gonna arc back into the MF. I feel like she was out there, no need to try to, you know, outplay there, but she's gonna just go down there. As Winner's Q just looks straight for this early Baron. That LeBlanc there, just going around, trying to outplay the side of Winner Q. I feel like she was out there, and then just goes back. Not too sure if that was a misclick or just was too what. I don't know there. I don't know. Seems from the side of OSU, they are aware that the Baron is being done, but they can't really do anything about this. Lucio C finds himself in a 1v3, gonna E over to the Raptors, trying to get out as MF looks to 1v1 this Kled. Kled's gonna get the jump on MF, and Conquer gonna get stacked from the side of Kled. MF's gonna have to burn heal and flash away, flash in from the Kled. Not only is all gonna come down, but the dismount's actually gonna cancel that, and Kled's gonna go down with the help of two people to peel that MF as they look for a pick on a Sejuani as well. In the mid lane. That was almost well played from the Kled. Almost got that MF. MF's actually going to go down to this LeBlanc. Gonna get a shutdown. 1,000 gold goes to the side of LeBlanc, but it might be too little too late from the side of OSU. But
right now, we can for sure hear the winnable champs coming from OSU, but with this 12k gold lead, Baron, almost an ace on the map, it's looking like it's about a wrap for Winners Queuing.
Yeah, and this probably won't be the final push to end the game, but they certainly can get all these tier 2s and maybe get another inhibitor. Actually, very unlikely they get another inhibitor as respawn timers are back up, but they can at least try to crack this inhibitor turret. Lucio C isn't around as they try to look for an engage, maybe a big greedy from the side of Winner's
Silas
Q.
aren't here.
Maokai's just gonna go down to the Vayne. Lucio C and the MF was not there to help, so a bit greedy. It was a 5v3 up there. And gonna go punished, but one Maokai death isn't gonna be enough to swing this game probably. Nonetheless, still good gold. Lucio C gonna actually find himself maybe caught here. Lucio C is gonna get rooted up, gonna get stunned, gonna get shut down by the Sejuani actually. This could be a good fight from the side of OSU here as OSU's jungler is gonna fall down. So does the Trundle actually. MF bullet time just gonna find everyone though. That ult was disgusting. The moment you think something goes well for OSU, this MF just comes through and gets a triple kill.
Gale Force MF. Fears no assassin.
Yeah, and you know, you catch out Lucio C, and you do catch out the Trundle as well, but the MF just presses R and destroys everyone. And you know, the team sometimes isn't all about this. Silas isn't all about Lucio C. This MF has absolutely exploded her lead in the bot lane. She's, you know, 13 kills up on the respective laner, and nearly Flame Horizon, just 26 farm off. And
yeah, and this MF has really shown how hard she can pop off. And if the side of OSU doesn't really have any answers, maybe they'll just have to ban this MF, and that's another ban to add to the list.
Yeah, or you know, or even ban Nautilus. Nautilus was a big playmaker in this lane, was able to find some key hooks on the Swain to get this MF fed. And also, this Vayne pick might have not been the best into this MF Nautilus, so maybe try to switch up the ADCs would be a good idea as well.
Right, and OSU picked towards a scaling teamfight comp, but it felt like towards the mid game they began getting caught out and took fights when they weren't necessarily even supposed to be able to. And so in general, maybe they should look for a more controlled style of play. And it felt like Winners Q just ran away with this game.
Yeah, and there were a few moments that OSU did try to make a stand, and it kind of did succeed. They were able to find some picks, and they were able to make plays bot lane, but ultimately it wasn't enough to overcome the gap that had already existed. Flash in from Vayne as Trundle runs towards her. Flash in from the Trundle. This is probably the game-ending fight. That is a lot of damage from the MF. The Sejuani doesn't even look like a tank there. As they look to get the dive there, Kled gonna try to go in under turret. Trundle is gonna get brought kind of low there. Conqueror gonna get stacked for Kled. Maokai's gonna find a kill. Kled is probably gonna get rooted up and killed as well. MF looks to deal a lot of damages. Kled has stayed alive for a bit too long there, I feel like. But nonetheless, Kled is gonna fall, and the rest of OSU is gonna go down with him. As Winner's Q look to just take game 1 in a commanding fashion. LeBlanc, last-ditch effort in order to try to kill this MF.
1v5. 1v5.
Yeah, 1v5 attempt. Not gonna be enough. Busius, she's just gonna find the Rue onto Darth Vader, but Darth Vader actually gonna stay alive. Busius C actually gonna get kind of CC'd by the Sejuani. Gonna have some fun here. Nautilus actually gonna get executed by the Fountain, as minions might just end here. And yeah, minions are just gonna end Winions for the win, as game 1 is gonna go to Winner's Q.
A summoner has disconnected.
Yeah.
And for sure, a game that I feel like this bot lane definitely took over. If we take a look at these damage graphs, MF did 34,000 damage. The next highest person was Silas with only 21,000 damage. And valiant effort by the Kled trying to, carry his team back from an unfavorable situation. But it just was not enough against the likings of MF and Silas that game. And that Vayne pick turned out to be a disaster. Least amount of damage in the whole game. Even less than this Nautilus, who actually had more than this Trundle. So interesting damage graphs coming through. Yeah, I mean, from the side of OSU, you just don't want to see your carries like LeBlanc and Vayne deal the least amount of damage in the game, practically. As we look to game 2, what changes do you think should happen, like to the draft?
So, I think bot lane sort of needs to get something with more lane agency. The way that MF and Nautilus kind of just took over the game towards the mid game and definitely the turning point was sort of that, or really the start of the end really, was that fight around Dragon where Sejuani did get the Dragon, but then immediately afterwards LeBlanc wasn't there. Swain had just gotten caught out, and that just essentially catapulted Winner's Q very far into the lead. This Silas got leads, and then they were able to snowball it out. So I think OSU basically needs to play a lot more controlled. I think they need to pick a stronger early game bot lane, and then they can look towards more team fights in the future. I think actually an MF pick wouldn't be remiss on their part, because they have that style of strong team fights. So maybe they should take a leaf out of Winner Q's book and take that MF for themselves.
Yeah, and as much as this MF Nautilus did do good and some bans might be thrown his way, at the same time, if I were OSU, I would also be making sure to not get caught out by those Nautilus hooks, making sure that you don't get picked out kind of just accidentally to this Nautilus, who has such good playmaking ability in games like this. These where Swain and Vayne are both really squishy early game and just can be one shot pretty quickly, given like a 1-kill lead. And yeah, a good game from Winner's Q overall, and going to be interesting to see how OSU tries to adapt to this kind of team comp. And I think we'll go into a short break, as I believe the teams are setting up for draft pick, and we will probably be back very shortly.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir. And folks dressed up. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your nose. Yuletide carols being sung by a choir. And folks dressed up like Eskimos. Everybody knows a turkey and some mistletoe help to make the season bright. Tiny tots with their eyes all aglow will find it hard.
Go, Raymond.
Okay, welcome back to the draft. It's going to be OSU on blue side again with winners Q on red, and Trundle going to be banned, a respect ban towards winner Qs. They don't want to play against that Trundle again, even though that Trundle did do least damage that game. That ultimate is very annoying to deal with sometimes as a tank. Singe is going to get banned from the side of winners Q. Just don't want to see, I believe, Oliva's Singed, which is pretty strong. Ornn also going to get banned from the side of OSU. I believe this was banned game 1 as well. Again, Winners Q's top laner is very good at playing these tank picks, so no surprise there. Nunu going to get banned in from Winners Q. Looks like they are taking pretty much the same angle on these bans as they did last game, at least for now. As OSU is going to ban the Sejuani this time. Which they actually picked. So it looks like they want to maybe draft a different jungler, and it also looks like last game they didn't want to pick, they didn't want to play against Sejuani, which is why they first picked Sejuani. But this time they're just gonna ban it, as OSU picks Shen. Winners Q.
And Vladimir or Gangplank, both being hovered. Oh.
Yeah, and that would be a good pick into Shen. Gangplank is able to do good damage against Shen, but it's gonna end up being a tank pick again. Once tank player, always a tank player apparently, because this Maokai is gonna get locked in again. But this Maokai can still go support, and Maokai support is still very strong, but they're actually just going to pick Nautilus, so they want the same playmaking ability that they did have with this Nautilus, and they want that tank in the top lane with Maokai. So it's actually just going to be Maokai Nautilus going to get picked out, because I guess Winners Q did enjoy their gameplay with those champions. Those champions were actually picked in round 2 of drafting phase, and they're just going to straight up pick them round 1 this time around. As Xayah gonna get picked out from the side of OSU with Rakan. Xayah Rakan. I've not seen a Xayah Rakan combination in a very long time. Gonna be interesting to see how that duo plays out in the bot lane. A better, more lane dominant lane coming out from OSU. They're able to potentially fight back against the likings of Nautilus MF with Xayah Rakan, but they're actually gonna just pick Ashe here because Ashe was not banned out. Very supportive ADC, but can do good damage in team fights. And good self peel with an already very heavy peel team means this ADC is going to be very hard to kill. But yeah, Xayah Rakan can certainly do decent against this Nautilus Ashe bot lane compared to last game, most likely.
Yeah, and yeah, with that more early game power, they still have that very comparable late game power. Zaya scaling towards the late game is still pretty strong, and Rakan with his ult and his W, just being able to zoom around the fight, charm people, and then knock them up. He has a very strong team fight presence, and we'll see whether or not the OSU bot lane can capitalize on this newfound ability to fight into this Ash Nautilus.
Yeah, and at the same time, as strong as Rakan is able to kind of have those active moments with his ultimate and with the amount of mobility he does have, there's a lot of CC from the side of Winners Q. You have three champions with good CC abilities. Maokai has his W, Nautilus has his root and hook, and pretty much every ability, and Ash also just has that passive slow in her arrows. So Rakan has to play very well in order to get a good engage off, I feel like, this game. Vi Kane gonna get banned. Strong respect shown to the jungler of Osu, who has done pretty well throughout this tournament. So not a big surprise there, as no mid bans are gonna get thrown out this time around, as Busio C, I believe, is looking for a potential counter pick in round 5, as Silas Galio gonna get banned out from the side of Osu.
And it feels like the Galio ban might be a little bit wasted. They really do need a lot of damage because especially into Ashe, the Shen, so a Spirit Refuge is very strong. Ashe's damage is heavily auto attack dependent, as a lot of AD carries are, but she autos super fast and she does a lot, and that Spirit Refuge stays up for a set amount of time, and you can get a lot of value of that from Shen.
Yeah, and you already know that, from the side of Winners Q, the junglers that the Winner Q jungler plays is mainly kind of revolved around, tanks slash kind of bruiser, but just primarily tanks. So, if Winners Q goes quad tank with Galio, Volley, Nautilus, Maokai, it is kind of seemingly a wasted ban when you kind of know that the mid laner has to be kind of a carry champion. Mumu gonna get picked from the side of Osu, trying to add to the team fight. Damage, as the mid lane pick is going to come out soon.
Amumu, a very strong tank jungler, not quite as dominant as we've seen in the past, as we've seen just a little while ago, but still very strong.
And it's actually
And
going to be a Malzahar picked out. A really interesting pick here. Just looking to press R probably against the mid laner, trying to get a good play on top of it. Honestly, might be one of the better ways to deal with the mid lane that Winner's Q has. But Graves is going to be a good pick into this Malzahar. Graves is able to do a good amount of damage and potentially out team fight. But Malzahar, Amumu, Rakan, and Shen, a lot of team fight also coming out from the side of Osu. So this is actually going to be a really interesting game to see once again.
It does seem like the tanks on Osu might just be able to stack a lot of armor, though, if they're able to head towards the later game. And it kind of does feel like, unless Maokai or Volibear are able to essentially wail on them for a long, long time, that the side of Winner's Q might not might not be able to do enough damage into this Amumu Shen, while the Zaya and the Rakan are just engaging around, and the Malzahar gets to press this R on one of those carries, even further cutting down that damage. So we do see this again, a later game focused composition from the side of Osu, but with the addition of the Shen, as he reaches level 6, we can maybe see more emphasis being put towards the bot side, where they can contest these dragons, and they can have more of a global map presence.
Yeah, and
So what are your thoughts on Winner's Q then, Raymond?
Winner's Q has a very strong comp, although maybe a bit too much AD centric. You do have Shen and Amumu, and they could probably just build a lot of armor and just be pretty unkillable for most of the game, actually. Graves is a very lane dominant pick for the mid lane right now, and kind of seeing some play around some players. So it's going to be interesting to see how this Graves pick plays out in the mid lane. At a certain point in this game, when Malzahar gets ult, he is able to just press R on this Graves, and if someone else roams, this Graves could just be a sitting duck. And QSS tax is just gonna have to be paid from the side of Winner's Q, all around. But I feel like you don't have enough damage, I feel like, from the side of OSU in order to deal with tanks like Maokai, Nautilus, Volley just jumping on her team. I feel like, even with Leandries from Malzahar and such. So yeah, it's gonna be a really interesting game. I feel like this game could go either way,
This
depending on
may
how.
just be this may just be a World of Tanks game.
Yeah,
We'll see.
and from both sides, I feel like there's the chance to win during team fights. If you can shut down, one of these carries like Ash and Graves with a single Malzahar, or you're able to get the jump on them, and able to blow them up with, just Rakana, Mumu, Shen, you do have a heavily winning fight from the side of Osu as well. If Zai is just able to self peel and then slowly auto down those tanks. Like on the side of Winner's Q, you have the same exact kind of scenario. If you're able to get the one shot on Zaya or even catch out the Malzahar, you also have a very winning fight because you do have that heavy engage style team that can just CC everyone else, and just kind of kill them off one by one. And you do have tanks, so that's once Zaya is down, there's not much that can be done in order to stop Winner's Q's team fight.
Yeah, but it's always important to remember the factor of flanks. We'll probably be looking for a Rakan to just zoom in out of nowhere from Fog of War, looking to charm and knock up the Ash and Graves, then run around the rest of the team fight, causing havoc. While on the side of Winner's Q, these long-range engages from Maokai, from so far away, can apply so much pressure. While the Graves sort of the Graves dashes across walls, and the Volley Bear just pounces on you while growing in size. That would definitely be a scene to fear for anybody on the Rift, but maybe even worse for Osu as they're down 0-1 in the series.
Yeah, and with Osu, really what you just want to see, I feel like, is just let the Samumu farm up. Probably just shake hands with Volley to just farm pretty much. Try to reach that tanky state. While bot lane hopefully tries to go even this time, or even tries to get a pick, or tries to gather themselves a small CS lead compared to the last game. Shen and Maokai, kind of just an AFK lane. And Malzahar Graves, you kind of just want to see this Malzahar playing safe, maybe just hugging turret, honestly, and just waiting until you get ultimate where you could just press R. And with the amount of playmaking ability that Shen ult has, and Rakan Roams has, and Amumu CC has, it could very well be a pick that leads to another pick, and so on and so forth, into early objectives that you can snowball the game with.
With the strength of ganks of Amumu, though, it does seem like maybe they can actually look towards the top side if Shen gets a couple of good trades off into the Maokai and doesn't let him regen too much. I would like to see maybe an early executioners from the Shen so that he can limit and cut down that healing. And in the bot side, there's a Rakan who can potentially land these double knockups, while the Zai can follow up with a nice route. So there definitely are options for Amumu to move around the map and look for plays. While on the opposite side, this is also definitely true for Volibear. He just zooms and then stuns you by bopping you on the head. And there's a Nautilus in the bot side and a Graves in the middle that can also. There's a Nautilus in the bot side that can hook for you, while there's Ash arrows slowing everybody down. And in the top side, there's also this flip side is true as well for the Maokai. If he can sort of get a couple of good trades into the Shen, maybe the Volibear can come up top and they can look for plays. Though in a tank versus tank, it will be highly unlikely. So we'll probably be looking to see how these junglers could be shifting around the map and looking to get an advantage.
Yeah, and with that, we'll go into a short 3-minute break to maintain competitive integrity. So see you on the Rift then.
The air gets cold. There's a tale about a Christmas that you've all been told, and a real famous cat all dressed up in red, and he spends the whole year working out on his sled. It's the little Saint Nick. It's the little Saint Nick. Just a little bobsled, we call it Old Saint Nick, but she'll walk the toboggan for her 4-speed stick. She's a candy apple red with the ski for a wheel, and when Santa hits the gas, man, just watch her peel. It's the little Saint Nick. It's the little Saint Nick. A run, run, reindeer. A run, run, reindeer. there's no one. And hauling through the snow at a frightening speed, with half a dozen deer with no Rudy to lead. He's gotta wear his goggles cause the snow really flies, and he's cruising every pad with a little surprise. It's the little Saint Nick. It's the little Saint Nick. Merry Christmas, Saint Nick. Merry Christmas, Saint Nick. Merry Christmas, Saint Nick. This time each year. I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is
Welcome back to Summoner's Rift for Game 2 of Winners Q versus OSU. OSU is going to be on the blue side, while Winners Q is going to be on the red side once again, and Winners Q does have one victory under their belt. And currently, Winners Q looking for an early invade once again, yet again. Actually, a flash Q coming in from the Nautilus to try to catch out this Rakan. Rakan gonna have to flash in W away. A lot of question mark pings gonna get pinged from the side of Winners Q on that one. Just an exchange of support flash is gonna be thrown there, as Winners Q gonna take some dominance over OSU's bot side jungle.
I believe they're actually paying the Maokai flash, which did seem a little futile.
Maokai flash. Oh, no. They're actually gonna look for an early dive on this Xayah. Flash heal gonna get burned from the Xayah, but the Nautilus hook is gonna get the Xayah. Ignite's gonna do the trick. Nautilus is gonna get first blood. What a good, perfect turret dive. Oh, actually, Ignite coming in from Rakan over the wall with that W. And Nautilus is actually gonna live that exchange. What a play from Winners Q. Gonna get first blood on Xayah and gonna get away scot-free. Maokai gonna have to burn an early TP there, but it might be worth, although Winners Q bot lane is gonna get back to lane a bit later. That was well played still from the side of Winners Q to go for that turret dive and get out without anyone dying.
Yeah, and that was very nice turret aggro juggling. We saw the Maokai begin the dive, but then I think it's W to remove the aggro. And then BuCOC on the Grave stepped up, used his barrier, was able to tank a few shots, and let the Volley Bear, Nautilus, and Ashe finish off the job.
Yeah, just overall very well coordinated, although early on, I feel like the side of OSU should be able to use the lead that they kind of got, although the side of Winners Q is actually shoving in right now, so maybe not.
Yeah, and it kind of feels like a mental victory on the side of the Winners Q bot lane, because OSU did have that initial take on the bot lane wave, but they didn't rush for that level 2 and look for a play.
Shen gonna try to look for a trade, but Maokai's actually gonna find some nice damage onto Shen, but the wave is crashing down in the top lane. Ashe gonna find a few shots on Rakan, but not much. Gonna be found there, as Maokai is actually gonna get down to half health while the wave is just pushing in. And both junglers look like they might meet at this bot scuttle, as as both of them are just farming. Boost COC gonna look inside of Mumu's jungle actually here. Mumu's gonna actually have to back here for some reason. Maybe got a bit low on that clear. Boost COC gonna try to look for a Mumu, but not quite gonna find him. Aggressive hook coming out from Nautilus there, but it's not gonna quite connect.
Maybe better that he did
as
miss.
Winner's Q just is looking for this Mumu, but they just don't see him. And I think they think it's topside right now, but they're a bit confused knowing that the Samumu probably started topside. So Volley Bear is actually just gonna, I believe, take the red right now. Samu's gonna walk back, and Maokai is just gonna get taken very low, almost solo kill by the Shen.
Yeah, and there are those successive good trades that Shen has been taking. Well, maybe we might begin looking for the side of OSU might begin looking for these ganks towards topside, see if they can get the Shen ahead, and then push that lead across the rest of the map with the global presence through his ult. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, the bot lane setting up for a gank, but the bot lane of Winner's Q is once again ahead.
Yeah, and Volley wasted a lot of time there trying to go for that invade as a Mumu Q is not going to quite land there. But Volley, knowing that a Mumu wasn't bot side jungle initially, tried to go for red buff, but a Mumu later showed up after his back and got the red buff. So Volley's going to be down a bit of farm as a Mumu tries to look for the top side play, and they're not going to find much of that. No flashes burned from the side of bot side as Volley is actually going to look for a counter gank here. Low health bars from the side of Osu on their bot laners. Full health for the Amumu. TP actually going to come down from the Shen here. Amumu's going to get brought down really low from the Ignite, but they should get this Nautilus here from the taunt. The flash is actually going to come through, and the Aftershock going to pay dividends there. Graves is just looking for this play here. Volley's going to get a nice kill onto, or the Graves is going to get a nice kill there, as Graves is actually going to pick himself up a double kill. Good roam coming in from Graves, but Malzahar is going to be in the fight as well. Shen's going to pick himself up a double kill, going in on the Ashe as well, as Busio is just going to look to escape this kind of disaster from Winner's Q actually. Initially they were winning that trade, and then they were losing that with the Shen TP, and then both mid laners kind of came down. Malzahar did have to burn TP there, but overall, favor to Winner's Q.
Probably a win for Winner's Q. With that teleport advantage, Shen did look to go bot lane, and he did go 2-0-1 in that trade. Very, very happy on the part of that Shen. But Busio, on the Graves is now very far ahead, and Maokai was able to just free farm in the top lane, push in a few waves, and deny Shen some golden experience.
And this is really interesting because they're just gonna have Busio stay bot, shove in this bot wave, actually find a root on a Xayah, good damage getting dealt. Oh, actually gonna be a double knock up there from the side of Rakan as they look to try to pick up a kill on either this Nautilus or Graves, or even both, as the shutdown is gonna come down for the Rakan. Nautilus gonna find a hook out of his way there. And I was just about to say, there's really smart move by Winner's Q to actually try to give more experience and more gold to this Ashe in the mid lane, knowing that Malzahar's an AFK lane. But they actually end up getting punished there.
Right, and we look more towards the global summoner spells in the form of teleport, but those flashes that kind of escaped our notice in the chaos of the fight, those probably just came in clutch, as both the Xayah and the Rakan flash aggressively onto the Graves.
Ashe here is gonna just get caught out by the Rakan here. Osu might just take an early lead. Ult gonna come down from Malzahar, not too sure if it's necessary, but nonetheless it secures the kill for the side of Osu, and they find themselves a gold lead versus Winner's Q right now. Oh, maybe not for long, as Rakan's gonna get caught out. Gonna try to W out, but a flash in for the Volley Bear. Gonna find the kill onto Rakan. Trying to trade back for that Ashe, who did get picked off in the mid lane earlier.
Yeah, and in this Clown Fiesta of a game, we've just seen kills everywhere across the map. Huge, these 3-man, 4-man, 5-man fights break out, and we've just seen opposite sides of the map get to take a break and farm. And in this case, it was Xayah who was able to find sort of a break in the action and pick up pick up 1 or 2 free waves. So
Winner's Q actually just gonna get a Drake here with that mid prio and mid wave shoved in. They're just gonna look to pick up this free Drake. Malzahar's not gonna be there to respond. Maokai is also gonna find some damage onto Shen. Shen's gonna try to top back back in, try to get some extra damage. But Maokai is just gonna win that trade. Shen's actually looking kind of low there. Maokai might be able to get an opportunity, but kind of low on mana there. But OSU still has a 200 gold lead. Might not mean much, but against Winner's Queue, it certainly is an achievement and an accomplishment. To stay even, at least for the first 10 minutes, as OSU is actually going to be the one to pick up this Herald, but Busio has a hunch that this Herald's being taken. Amuma's going to pick up the Herald, but it's going to be a free kill for the Graves mid. And just not enough vision, I guess, of of the pathway towards that Herald. Not detecting that Graves is coming. As Graves looks to even dive this top lane here, Shen's gonna see if he can try to get the outplay. Shen looking under turret, does have taunt, I believe. Still, or doesn't have taunt, but probably has taunt now. He's gonna try to go for the taunt on Maokai. That should be a free kill towards the side of Maokai, but Malzahar is gonna get stunned up there, but actually gonna get stand united under that turret there. Shen gonna be ulting just right next to Malzahar. Malzahar's actually gonna pick himself a double kill. This is greedy from Winner's Queue. Shen's gonna get shut down by the Graves there, as Amumu actually just looks to kill Busio here. Gonna get the Rue onto Busio. Busio gonna try to get the outplay, gonna get a heal, gonna pop some pots as well, and that's actually gonna get out of that situation. Was looking really bad for him there, but overall, just a greedy play from Winner's Queue and almost ended up in disaster as bot lane, the Xayah Rakan looking to try to assert their lane dominance as Rakan's going to get ignited up and almost actually brought pretty low there. But yeah, just kind of opposite of last game for this bot lane, as they are even now, and it's, the side of OSU which is shoving in compared to last game where they were just constantly being shoved in by this Nautilus MF combo.
Yeah, and the play topside was very well played from the side of Shen and Malzahar, as they were able to sort of outplay 2v3 until their Graves showed up. Sorry, not their Graves, their Amumu showed up, and were able to trade pretty well.
Trade on Maokai there, but might be punished with the volley. But volley is going to probably find the Shen. Shen's just going to actually taunt out there. Shilling Smite's gonna come down. Maokai W is also gonna come down. Shen's gonna have to flash away from that. Rakan's gonna come in and maybe big greedy for volley, but gonna take some turret shots and recognize that he cannot get that kill and is gonna walk out of there. Nice Rakan Q to cancel that back. Maybe give a slight edge.
Anything?
Yeah.
Any edge is an edge. You take what you can get.
And Busio actually looking for this Shen actually. And gonna stop this Shen's back, gonna keep him on the map, low health for a bit longer. But Osu wants in here, gonna get a knock up onto Busio, but Busio's also gonna get an ult. Malzahar ult's gonna also come down on Busio, but it's not gonna be enough. That Immortal Shield Bow is just gonna do work for Busio here as he looks to get a pick shut down on a Malzahar. I was just about to say that Malzahar is doing so well. 4-0 in this lane, good roams, but is actually gonna get picked and shut down there as this Graves just continues to try to assert dominance over Osu here.
And in theory, Osu were making good plays. They saw that Busio was caught out, and they wanted to punish him with their overwhelming numbers advantage and CC in the form of Malzahar ult and a Mumu. But somehow with that Immortal Shield Bow, Graves is able to survive, and they turn it around.
Yeah, interesting flash blown there by Maokai, just flashed for the Raptors, I believe. But yeah, that Shen did end up getting caught in that fight as Xayah looks to actually just flash in on it. Ashe gonna get the pick on Ashe. Well played by this Xayah, maybe getting a double kill here on a Nautilus as the rest of Winner's Queue is deep inside their bot side. Volley just gonna run through turret, actually looking for the Xayah here. Xayah's probably gonna get picked here. Flash in for the volley. Xayah's actually gonna get the volley there. Big greedy from the volley. Not too sure why the volley continues to go, and even flashing in there for the Xayah. But that's a guaranteed kill. No need to play too risky. Ashe here also going top lane. They're gonna not quite connect. Good dash from the Shen, or good sidestep from the Shen, and gonna dash back in. Oh, actually gonna get Q'd under turret there, and gonna go even on that trade.
Right, yeah, and in a crazy turn of events, this Xayah goes in 1v2, manages to snipe down this Ashe, using her flash, and I think even also burning that Ash flash. So Xayah pulling out the moves, getting that kill on Ash in the 1v2, and then getting a return kill when all hope looked lost.
Yeah, well played by that Xayah, indeed. Top lane, it is interesting to see that the Maokai does actually have a 20 farm lead over the Shen, but the Shen has been roaming more and trying to give OSU any lead over any lane, trying to have more map presence, which is what you want to see out of the Shen this game.
Right, yeah, and at a comparable time in the game, just under 14 minutes, the gold lead this time is only around 2,500. Compare that to the 5,000 last game, that's a marked improvement.
Maokai actually looking deeper to Shen here, but Shen's just gonna taunt Maokai right back up as a Mumu actually gonna look for the pull onto Maokai, it's gonna connect, but I don't think a Mumu can do much there as down to the bot side, it's gonna be a Busio 1v2 situation. Back to the top side, Shen's gonna taunt over turret, try to get the pick onto Maokai, and I believe they are. Shen's gonna get the pick as we pan back bot side as Busio see, it looks like he did it successfully. 1v2, Shen all coming down, but it doesn't matter. Busio is just gonna 1v2 the side of OSU's bot lane. I mean, they do get the trade onto the Maokai top side, but Busio is just able to 1v2 the Xayah Rakan on Graves in the bot side. So, yeah, it is what it is. You know, you may find leads top side, but Busio will always be there to punish on the opposite side of the map.
And right now we see the Volley Bear and the Nautilus in very close to mid lane, the bot side of the jungle, and if this Malzahar isn't careful, he might get dove. The Nautilus is kind of looking for it. He's calling his Volley Bear to stay as he stays behind the tower.
Busio looking for the 1v2 again. He wants more out of this Graves pick. Not gonna quite find it. Xayah and Rakan are just gonna dash around. He's actually looking back in, gonna find a nice auto onto Xayah, nice Q poke as well. And Xayah's gonna get brought down to actually pretty low health, as Volley might be looking for a dive as well. I think their bots might recognize it. Oh, they're standing on a ward, so they definitely do recognize it. Gonna back off there for a second. This Maokai Shen has really been going at this. Oliva plays a very nasty Shen here, just trading back and forth within Maokai's wave constantly. Trying to look for any kill potential on this Maokai.
But once again, winner's queue, almost as if a winner's queue heard what I was saying. Within the minute, they once more just about double their gold lead from 2,500 to even get to reaching towards this 4K mark. So
this Shen looking into Maokai's wave, maybe a big greedy, but Mumu's gonna be there to respond to that. 2 Ash arrows have been sent towards this bot lane, both of which have missed.
Top lane.
Top lane, sorry, my bad. But an interesting commitment of resources being sent to this top lane in an attempt to try to get that snipe onto Shen.
Non-committal snipes.
Yeah, and we do see a pretty even kill score actually. It's 10-11, and despite winner's queue having a good gold lead, the kills are even. It's just the
But
farm
they
diff
do
in the
have
mid,
two
top,
traits.
and bot side probably do contribute to that lead.
But yeah, it's important to recognize though that they also do have those 2 drakes, so they can push the pace of the game, looking towards Infernal, looking towards Soul, looking towards not Infernal, looking towards Soul and looking towards Elder Dragon, and then they can just begin to take over. They can just begin to crack open the game.
Yeah,
and
has 3 Vampiric Scepters actually, looking for that lifesteal. I'm not too sure if that's a move. He's actually gonna get caught there. Asher gonna get sent, and he's gonna actually QSS to try to get out of the situation. And that QSS will actually do a lot of work there. He's gonna be able to get out, and Nautilus is actually looking quite low. Nautilus actually gonna get picked off there, but Busio is gonna try to trade back. Low health bars from the side of OSU as they look for this Graves. This Graves is just gonna flash out, and this Graves is gonna live there. That is some disgusting play. Maokai gonna look in for the kill as the re-engage comes through from the side of winner's queue, as they just look to clean sweep OSU here. Oh, flash taunt by the Shen there, almost nearly gonna catch out the Ashe, but Ashe is gonna flash away from that and live on the slightest of health.
And Graves, so disgusting, able to just lifesteal and live through with, including the Immortal Shield Bow
And 3
Immortal
Vampiric
Shield Bow shield, and
Scepters.
just take everything, from the side of OSU, and then just quick QSS out of some of the CC, and then hit back with the 3 Vampiric Scepters, as Raymond's been laughing about, and it just felt like Busio C was unkillable that fight.
Oh, Ash Arrow actually gonna land on a Mumu there. Finally a snipe that's gonna land, I feel like. I haven't seen that quite yet, but yeah, Busio able to actually also dish out so much damage in that exchange. He's able to get an ult that brings OSU down to all 4 members down to half health, and the rest of OSU is able to clean up after Busio does just, flash out of that fight. And OSU just looks to now pressure this mid-tier 2 as they look to extend their nearly 7k gold lead.
Yeah, and even though the last 2 games have taken divergent paths, it seems to be inevitable that it always ends up in this state where winners queue are up 8,000 gold and looking to pressure down the rest of the map.
Ash ult is just constantly off cooldown or something. I feel like every time this Ash's ultimate, she just sends it flying. Very short cooldown from the ultimate. It's actually regenerating pretty quickly. I actually wonder how short that cooldown really is for the Ash. But
And looking towards her build, we can see that she's building not quite sure. She's building a Bandle Glass Mirror, and that's probably also looking towards the Imperial Mandate. Just taking on such a supportive role in this game after some of the fights into the Xayah. So it might look just like
Busio is actually gonna get caught again, but that QSS is gonna just get him out of that slippery slope again, as Busio is just gonna go for the ultimate, gonna do a lot of damage to Osu's backline. Maokai gonna pick up the double kill there as Ash picks up the kill on Xayah. And this game all of a sudden just looks so much in Winner's Cube favor all of a sudden. Oh, Maokai taking turret there. Actually gonna W off, and turret aggro is just gonna drop on him there. And yeah, Winner's Q gonna also force a soul point, as Winner's Q just looks to take over this game completely.
Yeah, and towards goal, you can begin to have these conversations about going to Baron and letting Osu just take one of those dragons, but just using Baron to win the game. You don't need Soul. You just take their Nexus.
Yeah, another Ashe ult went flying down mid lane. They're not going to connect, but this Ashe did indeed build Imperial Mandate, as you were talking about. And this Ashe is just going to have arrow up again, I feel like, in the next like 10 seconds. That Ashe arrow is on such nice cooldown there. Again, this Shen trading into Maokai, just fighting over and over again. But it's top lane.
We might just see Shen and Maokai do the most damage this game.
Actually, Maokai might look for the kill there, as the Ashe arrow is just gonna get off cooldown.
Oh.
Gonna connect to the bot side. Maokai also finds himself in a 1v2 situation. Volley's gonna ult over the wall to try to save Maokai. Maokai gonna W back in. Shen looking for the damage, but it's not gonna be enough to kill this Maokai. Volley looking in for the turret dive against this Amumu. Might be a bit greedy as the shutdown goes to Amumu. Maokai looking for Amumu as well, but Maokai's gonna go down as well. What a dive! Shutdown gold, double shutdown gold actually goes towards the side of Amumu as Busio hops over into Blue's base to try to look for this Malzahar, I feel like, or maybe just proxying the wave. I'm not too sure what he's doing. He's just saying, come at me right now, as Ashe just gonna land another ultimate. I feel like this ultimate is just on a 30-second cooldown or something. Just gonna land the ultimate mid, and Malzahar's not gonna quite fall from that. But this Xayah also just does not have enough damage to burst down this this Graves Imperial Shield Bow.
The healing one auto.
Busio's just gonna 1v3 this or something. He's just gonna be in the middle of 5 players. Gonna look for a dasher 1. Actually gonna QSS and get out of that situation, but the Shen ult is gonna actually catch him out. Oh, now he's gonna burn QSS actually, and he's actually gonna get out of that. Sorry, my bad. That was not the QSS animation, but Busio gets out of a sticky situation yet again with that lifesteal and QSS. Ashe gonna nice flash over that wall, avoiding the Mumu route. And just gonna Ash Arrow again. Stan United's gonna not protect Zaya as Volley actually looks in here. Maokai's also gonna look in. What a series of events here. Busio's gonna find himself a double kill in the mid lane as Malzahar also looks to fall down as Winner's Q looks to stomp this game all of a sudden. What just happened, man?
And all of a sudden, this game,
10k gold lead.
it just we've returned back to the Fiesta, and with their gold lead, Winner's Q is able to pull even further ahead. The rich get richer, and
Yeah.
the poor also get a little bit richer, but not quite as fast.
And not much can be done there. And the QSS buy has been so good for this Graves. This QSS hasn't been even used on this Malzahar. All it's just been used on random CC that comes flying his way. And it just allows him to get out of these sticky situations and lifesteal back up and even fight another day, you know? And it's just been doing so much work, and it's with Bloodthirster and Immortal Shiobo, it's just so hard to kill this Graves.
Yeah, and we continue to see a very creative build from the Ashe as she builds a Tiamat. Those ranged autos do now actually apply the effect, and as she gets Ravenous Hydra, her W volley will begin to apply it as well. So just more AoE damage.
Nautilus, I'm not too sure what that hitbox was, but is able to catch out that Amumu. Ash Arrow coming down once again onto that Shen's gonna get stunned up for a very long time as the pick on Amumu is gonna get found. Shen gonna find himself in a sticky situation. Well, he's no Busio C and probably just gonna fall down there as well. So Busio looks for the engage on the 3 members of OSU. Just gonna tank this turret like nothing. Gonna get mouse ulted, but QSS gonna come down finally on the Malzahar ult as Busio just gonna pick himself a nice and easy double kill with the help of Maokai there. And this Graves pick has really shown its strength here, going 14-1-8. Ash gonna get stunned up, but just also so much peel. Ash Arrow gonna come down again. This Ash Arrow has just been coming down every time it's off cooldown. Executed Nautilus there. That's gonna get
and now Winner's Q is just playing with their food.
Yeah, pretty much. They're not even gonna bother going for this mid inhibitor here. Though they
want to have a little bit more fun, pad their KDAs, you know? Get some more damage just to show who's boss in this game.
Yeah, pretty much. Graves just showing kind of no respect for potential CC chain that could be placed on him. Still hovering base, not wanting to reset. He wants to look for blood here. And from the side of OSU, you know, they're too scared to kind of pull the trigger now onto this Graves. You know, they've done so well finding the proper engage on the Graves, but Graves has always just managed to find a way out of the situation.
Right, and once bitten, twice
that's
shy,
Zaya gonna walk
this
up
may as well
that
just be
Graves. Not
5
too
times.
sure you want to be in that place. Featherstorm gonna come down, actually gonna get her out of the situation. Nice route as well. Rakan gonna knock up this Graves, but this Graves is not gonna have damage dealt him. Shen ulted, gonna come down for the Mumu. Gonna save Mumu's life, but not gonna save Rakan's life there. As this Graves just continues to lifesteal, just autos one by one as OSU just can't seem to find the damage to kill this Graves. Soul's probably gonna get taken soon from the side of Winner's Q, as Winner's Q just looks to stop OSU. Not much can be done here at this point. Nautilus coming down to the security kill on a Malzahar. Maokai gonna take 2 turret shots like it's nothing, looking for this Mumu. Ash Slow probably gonna do the job, although Mumu is just gonna run to the safety of his top lane tier 3 turret. But Winner's Q just gonna look to probably end this game. They do have a near 15k gold lead. They do have Soul, and they are most likely gonna have the Nexus soon as well. Lining up outside the Nexus. Just gonna DM their way to finals here. Volley gonna look for the dive here, but that doesn't really cancel the Fountain Turret. Fountain Turret's gonna find the kill onto Volley. Zaya's gonna get the kill credit for that. Nautilus gonna look for the re-engage onto Zaya. Actually, Zaya gonna get brought down pretty low from that Graves off, but actually gonna stay alive there. As minions look to end again. barrier gonna come down for this Graves. Graves, Immortal Shiobo is gonna get
He's
popped in.
still
He's just gonna
living.
lifesteal back up so much. This Ashe Maokai Graves combination has done so much work this game. As Winners Q punched their ticket to the grand finals, OSU gonna have to look to play their match against GGS or Glebgoons for a chance at redemption against this Winners Q team that is just so strong. As we take a look at the damage graphs really quickly. But yeah, just such a dominant game. From the side of Winners Q, that Graves was able to pick up an early lead bot lane by getting 2 kills, and from there, he just kind of snowballed his lead and was just able to 1v5 at that point. And League Client here having a bit of issue, I think. If the League Client doesn't work, might not be able to show the damage graphs, but that Ashe also did so much work. That Ashe arrow felt like it had like a 30-second cooldown or something, because that Ashe arrow was falling every time it was off cooldown, able to find picks left and right. And that Imperial Mandate build was only able to give Graves more damage. So yeah, overall that
Yeah, and it
game.
kind of felt like a player diff. OSU were able to make a lot more gains into the bot lane. They had a top lane that was looking pretty good for a while there, but when they tried to pull the trigger on Busio, he was able to always evade the final noose and come back even stronger.
And OSU, honestly, give them credit where credit is due. They probably did have one of the better early games against Winners Q. They were able to kind of match gold and even were ahead of gold for a short period of time. They were able to find picks and able to kind of stay on tempo in the kill score. But at the end of the day, I think they tried to go for a play on a Busio, but Busio, the escape artist he is, was able to do damage and get out, leaving the rest of Winners Q to kind of clean up the fights. And that happened just so many times, enough to just give Busio just such a big lead, and the rest of Winners Q also a big lead. And that lead was eventually enough to close out the game. Unfortunate, as League Client does not seem to be working, so I'm not too sure we can see the damage graphs. But yeah,
Just hit quit. Just hit quit.
Yeah, I believe the next game is going to be OSU versus GGS. So stay tuned for that. See who gets a shot at Winners Q, as Glebgoons look for a shot to challenge the so far undefeated team of Winners Q, and OSU look for a chance at redemption against Winners Q. See you guys then.
Goodbye.